This is a cautionary tale for anyone who uses social media, particularly Facebook. After what's happened to me, and all the bad that might come of it, I feel that at the very least, this might be able to serve as a warning for other people, so that they can avoid finding themselves in a similar situation. You see, I'm just your average Joe. Just a normal dude living by himself in a small house with my golden retriever, Max. I'm a shift manager at a local video game retail store. I've got an on-again, off-again girlfriend that I've been seeing for about a year now. I like watching sports and hanging out with my coworkers on my days off, and I have a pretty standard presence on social media. About 2 months ago, I actually narrowed down my online presence to pretty much just Facebook and Reddit. I had initially considered deleting my Facebook when I deleted Twitter off my phone, but Reddit really isn't for socializing, and posting a random status update or sharing an animal video every few months is enough to satisfy my mom's constant worrying that I might have died or moved to another country, without anyone letting her know. It's also kind of nice to see that no one else from my graduating high school class really went on to do anything special with their lives. Most of them have a spouse, maybe 1 or 2 kids, but none of them went on to be young millionaires or anything. My life may not be anything remarkable, but neither is theirs, and while that might be sad to say, it does make me feel a little bit better about myself. I never really did much on Facebook except scroll through the most recent posts and maybe share a viral video or two. I'm not one to engage in paragraph battles in the comment sections of controversial posts, but I would occasionally find myself scrolling through them to get a good laugh once in a while. The things that people fight over are pretty ridiculous, and for some reason, Facebook brings out the debate champion in everyone these days, but I guess that's how the internet has always been. Anyway, one morning on my day off, I found myself perusing the comment section of a pretty stomach-turning article that one of my aunts had decided to share for some reason. The article was about a grisly unsolved crime that took place in her area, and the people in the comment sections were rattling off with their theories and speculations about who might be responsible. Some people had rather controversial opinions of the discriminatory variety. Others blamed the government for a lack of law enforcement presence in the area, and some just echoed their thoughts and prayers for the victim, along with a praying hands emoji or two. Of course, also amongst the comments and commentators were the edgy trolls who were taking the opportunity to rile up the Facebook moms, with tasteless memes and GIFs making light of the details of the crime itself. I can have a pretty dark sense of humor from time to time, so I'm not above chuckling to myself at the clever use of a reaction image in response to something truly tragic. It might not be the best way to handle sensitive topics, but what good does it do anyone to read about something awful and let it control the rest of their day? Might as well make the best out of a bad situation. It's not like there's anything I could do to help the investigation or the victim anyway. But what caught my eye was a comment from a profile named Peter Stump, and it was just a sailboat emoji followed by the monkey covering its mouth emoji. For reasons that would be hard for me to explain, this comment actually caused me to chuckle to myself. Maybe it was the weird combination of inappropriate emojis in response to the horrible violent crime. Or maybe it was the fact that the account that had posted the comment still had the anonymous gray avatar as their profile picture, and was using the name of a famous 16th century serial killer to rile up strangers on the internet. Regardless, for some reason the comment really tickled my funny bone, and I gave the comment a laugh reaction. Pretty harmless, right? Well, that's what I thought too. But that's where the trouble started. Within no more than 30 seconds of me reacting to the comment, I had received an invitation from the Peter Stump profile to join a private Facebook group called The Shipyard. A bit strange, I thought, but I wasn't actually a part of any Facebook groups, so I didn't really know much about them or the etiquette for joining one. This group was private, so I figured it was probably just a group for people with socially unacceptable humor to laugh at darker subject matter in peace without being lectured by every Karen and Susan with access to the internet. After hitting accept, I decided to check the group out. To my surprise, there wasn't really anything of note in the actual group. All existing posts were just default avatar-clad profiles posting the sailboat emoji, along with a string of numbers. I should mention that at the time, I was also using the default gray anonymous profile picture, so I fit right in. I scrolled along for 15 minutes, hoping to see something more interesting than this weird emoji sailboat thing, but no dice. It took me a few minutes to realize that the numbers following each sailboat were coordinates. Every one that I plugged into Google Maps showed pictures of fairly unassuming houses. Fair enough, I thought. Maybe these posts were all just introduction posts. It is called the shipyard, after all. A sailboat, then the coordinates of your house. Maybe like a weird secret code or something. I had never really gotten to be part of a club, and it seemed harmless enough. So I submitted my own post, sailboat emoji, and the coordinates of my house. I waited a while to see if anyone would react to my post to welcome me, but nothing happened right away. A few of the other posts had laugh reactions on them, so I figured that was a customary response to a post like mine. For the remainder of the day, I'd occasionally refresh my feed to see if anything happened, but nothing. No one responded, and I figured that I just wasted my time. Oh well. I woke up around 9 the next morning because I wasn't expected to be at work until noon. I hopped on my computer to see if I had any new notifications. I couldn't tell you why the approval of some random faceless strangers on the internet meant so much to me, but I was overwhelmed with the urge to see if I had been properly welcomed into this mysterious and random group of people. Nothing. No notifications. I was a little disappointed, but quickly got over it as I switched over to Reddit to browse for an hour or two. Around 30 minutes into my browsing, Max, my dog, started going nuts in the kitchen. I have a fairly tiny house, and the kitchen window is part of a little breakfast nook that looks out into some trees and a drainage ditch area. The curtains were closed, but when I came in to investigate the commotion, it was quickly apparent at what he was barking at. There was the shadow of a person, blocking the sunlight from behind the curtain on the outside of the window. Whoever it was standing at the edge of the trees, motionless, as Max barked and yelped at the disturbance. I had made the mistake of shouting at Max as soon as I came into the kitchen, which alerted whoever was standing outside the window of my presence. They immediately turned and began to retreat back into the trees, so quickly that by the time I had made it out the front door and around the corner to the back of my house, they were nowhere to be found. I considered calling the police, but what would I have told them? Yes, a nondescript figure that I had no further description of was casting a shadow into my kitchen and now they're gone. I don't think so. I calmed Max down and went back inside. I didn't really know what to do about what had just happened. For all I knew, it was just one of the neighbor kids playing a prank on me or wandering around outside my house. I tried to calm my nerves and sat back down to continue reading the funny Reddit thread that I had previously abandoned. Suddenly, I saw the tab that I had Facebook opened pop up with a new notification. I clicked over to see what it was, only to find that someone had finally interacted with my post. Chester Turner commented on your post in the shipyard. I clicked on the notification to see what was said, and my stomach dropped. In real time, I watched as the comment, a photograph of my kitchen window, was liked by nearly a dozen people simultaneously, and then the comment was subsequently deleted. Seconds later, one of the people who had liked the photo of my window left a laughing reaction on my post. I panicked and deleted the post right away, screenshotting everything I could about the group before deactivating my Facebook profile and calling the police. After turning over all the information that I had as well as all the screenshots, I called work and told them that I had a family emergency and that I would be out of town for a little while. I immediately packed myself and Max up and drove over to my mom's house a few hours away. While I was there, I received a call back from a detective that I was told would be following up on the investigation. He told me that while they weren't able to identify who had been outside my window that day, they were able to conduct the coordinates in many of the posts to active missing persons cases across the country. It's been a few weeks now, and I'm still staying with my mom for the time being. I don't know what exactly I did by putting my information on the shipyard, but one thing's for sure. I won't be reactivating my Facebook profile anytime soon.